Fear begins here. Welcome to Legend and Nightmare, and let the terror unfold. Subscribe. Keep your eyes open, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button, because in these mountains, some houses have history, dark history, history that doesn't stay buried. I asked what she meant. She wouldn't say, not directly, just kept talking, fragments, warnings. Thomas was the previous owner, lived here 40 years, since the house was built. Then suddenly, last November, he left, packed one bag, left everything else, furniture, clothes, photos, everything, told no one, just disappeared. She'd known him well, they'd been neighbors for decades. Friends, close friends, he'd confided in her the last night before he left, told her things, terrible things, about the house, about what lived here, about what wanted him gone or wanted him dead. My wife asked her to leave, politely, firmly. Said we didn't want to hear this, didn't believe in ghosts, didn't appreciate scare tactics. The woman nodded, said she understood. Said she'd been the same way, once, before she knew, before she believed, before she saw. She left, slowly, reluctantly. At the door she turned, one last warning: don't stay after dark, not alone, not in silence. Keep lights on, keep noise going. Keep witnesses present, whatever you do. Don't let it think you're vulnerable. Don't let it think you're weak. Don't let it think it can take you, like it tried to take Thomas, like it will try to take you. We laughed after she left. Crazy old woman. Mountain superstition, nothing more. But that night, our first night truly alone, without family helping, without friends visiting, just us, the house felt different, bigger somehow, darker. The shadows in corners seemed deeper, the silence seemed heavier, the air seemed thicker, like the house was breathing, slowly, deliberately, watching us, waiting for something. I heard it first. Around midnight, we were in bed, lights off, trying to sleep. A sound from downstairs, like footsteps, heavy, slow, methodical, walking through the living room. Into the kitchen, back to the living room, over and over. Same path, same pace, same weight. I woke my wife. She heard it too. We grabbed our phones, used flashlights, went downstairs together. The sound stopped. Instantly. Complete silence. We searched every room, every closet, every corner. Nothing. No one. No explanation. It happened again. Next night, same time. Same sound, same pattern. This time we didn't investigate, just lay there, listening, trying to rationalize. Old house settling, pipes expanding, animals in walls. But we knew, deep down, we knew it wasn't normal, wasn't natural, wasn't explainable. And it was just beginning. Third night, the footsteps came upstairs, slowly, one step at a time, creaking each board, deliberately, like it wanted us to hear, wanted us to know, wanted us to be afraid. They stopped outside our bedroom door. We could see the shadow under the door, blocking the light from the hallway. Standing there, not moving, not breathing, just waiting. For 10 minutes, 15, then it walked away, back downstairs. Same slow pace, same heavy steps, same terrible purpose. I went to see the old woman. Next morning, asked her everything. She told me Thomas had experienced the same thing for months. Footsteps, shadows, presences, getting worse, getting closer, getting bolder. He tried everything: priests, paranormal investigators, Native American shamans. Nothing worked. It stayed. It grew stronger, until finally, one night, it tried to take him. He woke up, couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't scream. Something was on him, in him, trying to replace him, trying to become him, trying to take his life, his identity, his existence. He fought it, somehow. Broke free, ran from the house, never returned, left everything, started over, in Florida, far from here. Far from the mountains. Far from whatever claimed that house, whatever still claims it, whatever was there before the house was built, whatever will be there after the house is gone. Something ancient, something patient, something that doesn't leave, doesn't forget, doesn't forgive reintrusion. We left that day, packed what we could, abandoned everything else, contacted the realtor, said there were structural issues, code violations, anything but the truth, because who would believe the truth? Who would buy a house that's already occupied by something that came before humans? Something that considers us the intruders? Something that slowly, systematically, methodically drives out every resident until it has the house back, until it has the land back, until it has silence back. The house is back on the market. New listing, lower price. No mention of Thomas, no mention of us, no mention of the truth. Some young couple will buy it. Excited, hopeful, naive, just like we were. And they'll hear the footsteps, see the shadows, feel the presence, until one night, they'll wake up unable to move, unable to breathe, unable to scream, and they'll understand, too late, why the price was so low, why Thomas left, why we left, why everyone leaves. Eventually, if they're lucky, enough to leave it all. The basement door was locked when we moved in. Padlock, chain, deadbolt, 3 separate locks. The realtor didn't have keys. Previous owner took them, disposed of them supposedly. Said the basement was just storage, old junk, nothing important. Nothing worth accessing. We didn't question it, figured we'd cut the locks eventually. When we needed the space, when we had time, when we got around to it. First month, we ignored it, had enough to deal with. Unpacking, renovating, settling in. The door was in the kitchen. Old wooden door, paint peeling, wood cracking, but solid. Heavy, with those 3 locks. Shining, new, expensive locks on an old rotting door. Strange, unnecessary, excessive. But we didn't care. Didn't need a basement. had plenty of storage, had plenty of space, had no reason to go down there. Then we heard the knocking. Week 5, middle of the night. 3 knocks, slow, deliberate, from behind the basement. Door, clear, distinct, impossible to ignore. We both heard it, both woke up. Both went to investigate, stood in the kitchen, staring at that door, listening, waiting. It came again. 3 knocks. Same rhythm, same volume, same location, coming. From below, from the basement, from behind those 3 locks. I grabbed a flashlight, went outside, around the house, looking for basement windows. Found one, small, ground level, covered in years of dirt and grime. I wiped it clean, shined my light through. The basement was empty, completely empty. No junk, no storage, no furniture, just concrete floor, concrete walls, concrete ceiling, and darkness, deep darkness. The kind that seems to absorb light, that seems to resist illumination, that seems alive somehow. The knocking continued, every night, always 3 times, always the same rhythm, always around 3 a.m. We tried ignoring it, tried wearing earplugs, tried sleeping in different rooms. Didn't matter. We heard it, felt it, through the walls, through the floors, through our bones, like it wanted our attention, like it demanded acknowledgement, like it refused to be ignored. Week 8. I decided to cut the locks. My wife argued against it, said we should leave it alone, said there was a reason for 3 locks, said the previous owner knew something we didn't, something terrible, but I insisted, said it was our house, our property, our right to access every part of it, to know what was down there, to end the mystery. The knocking, the fear. I cut the padlock first. Easy. Bolt cutters made quick work. The chain came off next. Heavier, stronger, took more effort. But it broke. The deadbolt was last. Required a drill, required time, required determination. But eventually, finally, it gave way. All 3 locks removed, all 3 barriers gone. Nothing between us and the basement, nothing between us and whatever was knocking, nothing between us and the truth. I opened the door, slowly, carefully. The smell hit me first. Not decay, not mold, something else, older, earthier, like ancient soil, like burial grounds, like death that's been waiting so long, waiting so patiently. The stairs descended into darkness. My flashlight couldn't penetrate it, couldn't reach the bottom, couldn't illuminate anything beyond the first few steps, like the darkness was solid, was intentional, was protecting something. I started down, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. The door slammed behind me. Locked. Impossible. There were no locks. Left. Nothing to engage, nothing to hold it closed, but it was sealed. Solid, immovable. I pounded on it, screamed for my wife. She heard me. Tried to open it, couldn't. The door wouldn't budge, wouldn't turn, wouldn't respond, like it had fused with the frame, like it had become part of the wall, like it had never been a door at all. I turned back to the stairs, had no choice, had to go down. Had to find another way out, had to reach the basement. The darkness seemed to welcome me, seemed to pull me, seemed to guide me down, step by step, deeper, darker, colder, until I reached the bottom. My flashlight still worked, but the beam was weak, faint, barely visible, like the darkness was draining it, consuming it, defeating it. The basement was larger than it should be. Larger than the house footprint, extending beyond the walls. Beyond the property, beyond reality, the concrete floor was cracked. Something growing through the cracks, not plants, not roots, something else. Black, pulsing, reaching, like veins, like arteries, like the basement was alive, was breathing, was feeding. I saw the marks on the walls, scratches, deep, desperate, made by fingernails, made by hands, made by people trying to escape, trying to climb out, trying to reach the door. Messages too, carved into concrete, words, warnings, names, dates, going back decades, centuries maybe, all saying the same thing. Don't open the door, don't come down here. Don't let it out. Then I heard it, behind me, breathing, slow, wet, heavy, like something massive, something ancient, something that had been waiting down here in the darkness for someone to remove the locks, to open the door, to come down, to provide what it needed, what it craved, what it had been knocking for, it's calling for, begging for. I ran, didn't look back, didn't need to, could feel it. Right behind me, close, getting closer, its breath on my neck, its presence in my mind, its hunger in the air. I hit the stairs, started climbing, fast, desperate, terrified. The door was still closed, still locked, still impossible, but I hit it, shoulder first, again, until something gave, something broke, something released me. I tumbled into the kitchen. My wife grabbed me, pulled me away. We both saw it through the doorway. In the darkness, something massive, something moving, something rising, coming up the stairs, coming for us, coming to finally escape. After all these years, after all these locks, after all these warnings, because I'd opened the door, because I'd gone down, because I'd given it a path, a way out, a chance, we slammed the door, held it closed, somehow, impossibly, against something stronger, something determined, something that had waited so long. We held it until morning, until daylight, until the pressure stopped, until the pushing ceased, until whatever was down there retreated, back into darkness, back into waiting, back into hunger. We left that day. Called a locksmith first, had him install new locks, stronger locks, more locks, 6 this time. Industrial strength, solid steel, unpickable, unbreakable, permanent. Then we left. Abandoned the house, broke the lease, lost our deposit, didn't care. Because I'd seen what was down there, I'd felt what was waiting. I'd understood why the previous owner locked that door, why he used 3 locks, why he took the keys, why he never went back. The house is for sale again, new family bought it. Young couple with a baby. I wanted to warn them, wanted to explain, wanted to beg them to leave those locks alone. But what could I say? How could I explain? Who would believe that some doors should stay locked, some basements should stay sealed, some darkness should stay contained? Because what's down there isn't storage, isn't junk, isn't nothing. It's something old, something patient, something that knocks 3 times every night at 3 a.m., calling, begging, waiting for someone to open the door again. The attic access was in our bedroom closet, pool downstairs, spring-loaded, easy to use. The inspector said it was clear, no insulation issues, no pest problems, no concerns, perfect condition. We never planned to use it. Just storage, we figured. For Christmas decorations, seasonal items, things we didn't need, didn't want, didn't miss. First sign something was wrong came week 3. We heard walking above us, at night, clear footsteps, slow, deliberate, pacing back and forth, same path, over and over. We assumed animals, raccoons, squirrels, maybe a possum, called an exterminator. He checked, found nothing, no droppings. No nests, no entry points, no evidence of any animals at all. Said we probably heard house settling, wood expanding, normal sounds. Nothing to worry about, but the sounds continued. Got worse, got louder, got more deliberate, not just walking now, dragging sounds, like furniture being moved, heavy objects being pushed, things being arranged, rearranged, organized. We knew animals didn't do that, knew house settling didn't do that, knew something else was up there, something intentional, something aware. Something that was making itself at home. Month 2, I decided to investigate. My wife said don't, said leave it alone, said we didn't need to know, but I couldn't sleep, couldn't rest, couldn't handle not knowing what was up there, what was making noise, while was living in our attic, rent-free, unwelcome, unexplained. I waited until afternoon, full daylight, when things seemed safer, less threatening, less supernatural. I pulled down the stairs. They creaked, loud, protesting, like they hadn't been used in years, decades maybe. The smell hit me immediately. Not decay, not must, something else. Old perfume, cigarette smoke, mothballs, like someone's grandmother's house, like a nursing home, like the past refusing to die. I climbed up, slowly, carefully, head emerging into darkness. My flashlight revealed the space, and I froze. The attic wasn't empty, wasn't bare, wasn't unused. It was furnished, completely furnished. Old furniture, antique dresser, Victorian mirror, rocking chair, small bed, all arranged, all organized, all positioned like someone lived there, like someone was living there, like someone had been living there for a very long time. The bed was made, fresh sheets, fluffed pillows, quilted blanket, like someone had just made it, that morning, that hour, that minute. The dresser had items, personal items, hairbrush, hand mirror, photographs, old photographs, black and white, from the 1950s, showing a woman, middle-aged, stern expression, unwelcoming eyes, standing in front of this house, this exact house, when it was new. When it was first built, when it was her house, I heard the sound behind me, the stairs folding up by themselves, spring mechanism releasing, cutting off my escape, trapping me up here, in the furnished attic, with the made bed, with the personal items, with the presence I suddenly felt, watching me from the corner, from the shadows, from a darkness that shouldn't exist, in broad daylight, in an open attic. In reality, I spun around, saw her, the woman from the photographs, standing there, solid, real, impossible. She wore the same dress, same hairstyle, same severe expression, but her skin was wrong, pale, gray, translucent, like tissue paper, like fog, like she was here, but not here, present, but not present, alive, but not alive. She spoke. Voice like wind through dead trees, like scratching on coffin wood, like whispers in empty rooms. Said this was her home, her house, her space. She'd lived here, died here, refused to leave here. The attic was hers, had always been hers, would always be hers. No one was allowed, no one was welcome. No one would make her leave. She'd lived in the house for 30 years, alone, bitter, angry. Her family abandoned her, put her in this house, in these mountains, visited once a year. Then never. She died up here, in the attic, in her bed, alone, forgotten, angry. And she stayed angry, stayed bitter, stayed trapped between life and death, between presence and absence, between being and nothing. I tried to leave, tried. To reach the stairs, she moved, fast, impossibly fast, blocking my path. Her face inches from mine, breath cold, eyes hollow, fingers reaching. Not threatening, desperate, lonely, wanting, contact, acknowledgement. Company, after so many years, so much solitude, so much abandonment, my wife heard me screaming, pulled. Down the stairs, light flooded in, the woman vanished, instantly, completely. Like she'd never existed, but the furniture remained, the photographs remained, the made bed remained. Evidence, proof, reality, that someone lived up there, someone died up there, someone stayed up there, forever. We called paranormal investigators. They confirmed it. Strong presence, intelligent, haunting, non-malevolent but possessive. She considered the attic hers, would defend it, would frighten intruders, would never leave, never cross over, never accept death. They recommended leaving. Her alone, let her have the attic, stay out, don't engage, don't acknowledge, don't interact. She wanted isolation, deserved isolation, needed isolation. We sealed the attic, nailed the stairs shut, painted over the axis, pretended it didn't exist. And it worked, mostly. The sounds continued, the pacing, the dragging, the arranging, but only at night. Only when we were trying to sleep, only when we couldn't ignore it, like she wanted us to know. She was still there, still present, still living in our attic, our house, our home. That wasn't really ours, would never be ours, could never be ours, as long as she remained. We lasted 6 months before moving out, before giving up, before accepting. Defeat. The house is back on the market. Lower price. Again, the listing mentions attic storage. Easy access, perfect for extra space. It doesn't mention the tenant, the furniture, the woman who died. Who stayed, who guards, who possesses her space, her attic, her eternal home. The next owners will discover her, eventually, when they need storage, when they investigate sounds, when they ignore warnings, and she'll make them understand, make them leave, make them realize that some spaces aren't empty, some storage isn't available, some attics already have tenants who never pay rent, never leave, never die, because they already did and refuse to move on. We decided to renovate. The house needed updating, old wallpaper, dated paint, worn carpets. We started with the master bedroom. Figured we'd work our way through the house, one room at a time, make it ours, make it modern, make it home. Started by stripping wallpaper, layer after layer, decades of paper, decades of patterns, decades of people living, decorating, hiding. Under the wallpaper we found writing. On the plaster, directly on the walls, handwritten messages, different handwriting, different eras, different people, all saying similar things. Leave this house, get out while you can. Don't stay after dark, don't listen to the whispers. Don't trust the walls. Message after message, warning after warning. Written by previous residents, people who lived here, people who left, people who survived, barely. We laughed, thought it was a joke. Some previous owner's idea of Halloween decoration, permanent haunted house. Nothing serious, nothing real, nothing to worry about. We painted over it, primer, 2 coats, white paint, fresh start, clean slate, covered the warnings, ignored the messages, dismissed the fear of people who knew better, who'd experienced something, who'd tried to warn us, through time, through walls, through desperation. That night, the whispers started, soft, barely audible. Coming from the walls, from inside the walls, not behind them, inside them. like the walls themselves were speaking, like the plaster was alive, like the structure had consciousness, had memory, had voice, speaking in tongues, speaking in English, speaking in warnings about what happened here, what happens here, what will happen here. Again, I pressed my ear to the wall. The whispers got louder, clearer, more distinct, multiple voices, men, women, children, old people, young people, all speaking at once, all saying the same things. Run, hide, leave, before it happens, before it starts, before it takes you, like it took us, like it takes everyone, like it will take whoever stays, whoever ignores, whoever disbelieves. My wife couldn't hear them, thought I was imagining things, stress from the renovation, exhaustion from work. Normal explanations, rational reasons, nothing supernatural, nothing impossible, just me being tired, being sensitive, being paranoid. But I knew, I heard them, clear as day, clear as her voice, clear as reality. The walls were speaking. The walls remembered. The walls were trying to save us. Week 2 of renovation. We stripped wallpaper in the living room, found more writing, more warnings, more desperate pleas, but also something else. Names, dates, descriptions of what happened, what they saw, what took them, or tried to, details, horrifying details about something in the house, something that claimed it, something that defended it against residents, against owners, against anyone who changed things, who renovated, who made it theirs instead of its. The entity appeared during renovations, when walls were opened, when structure was modified, when the house was vulnerable, exposed, wounded. It protected itself through violence, through fear, through making residents leave or making them stay forever, trapped in the walls, absorbed by the structure, becoming part of the house, part of the warnings, part of the whispers that future residents would hear, would ignore, would die learning truth. I stopped the renovation immediately, refused to continue. My wife was furious, said I was being ridiculous, said the writings were just pranks, the whispers were just pipes, the fear was just imagination. She hired contractors to finish what I wouldn't, to complete the renovation, to make the house beautiful. Modern hours, despite my protests, despite my warnings, despite my terror. The contractors started work. Day 1, demolition day. Sledgehammers through plaster, crowbars through lathe, exposing studs, exposing insulation, exposing what was inside, what had always been inside, what the warnings tried to prevent us from finding, from disturbing, from releasing. They found bodies, not skeletons, bodies, preserved somehow, perfectly preserved. Dozens of them, inside the walls, between the studs, in the crawl spaces, all in different states of distress, screaming faces, clawing hands, twisted positions, like they'd been absorbed while alive, while conscious, while aware, slowly pulled into the walls, slowly consumed, slowly becoming part of the house, part of its defense, part of its memory. The contractors ran, left their tools, left their work, left their sanity, called police. Who called coroners? Who called investigators? Who found nothing? By the time they arrived, the bodies were gone, absorbed back into the walls, hidden again, waiting again. The walls were smooth, solid, normal, no evidence, no proof, no explanation, just hysterical contractors, crazy homeowners. Nothing to report, nothing to investigate, nothing to prove, but I saw them, saw the bodies, saw the faces, recognized some from old photographs, Previous owners, previous residents, previous people who'd lived here, who'd renovated here, who'd disappeared here, never found, never explained, never solved, until now, until we exposed them, until we proved the warnings true. The walls remember. The walls preserve. The walls collect. Everyone who dares to change them. Everyone who dares to hurt them. Everyone who dares to believe they own this house. When it owns them, we tried to leave. That night, packed bags, called movers, made plans. But the house wouldn't let us. Doors locked themselves. Windows sealed shut. Walls shifted, closing in, trapping us. The whispers got louder, angrier, more demanding. You renovated, you damaged, you must pay, must join, must become. Part of the walls, part of the warnings, part of the collection. Forever, my wife finally heard them, finally believed, finally understood. Too late, far too late. The walls were closing. Literally, moving inward, inch by inch, slow, inevitable, patient. We had hours, maybe days, before they reached us, before they touched us, before they absorbed us, like all the others, like all the warnings, like all the voices still whispering. Inside the walls, inside the house, inside the entity that was the house, that had always been the house. That would always be the house. I'm writing this on the wall with marker before I can't, before it's too late, before I become another whisper, another warning, another voice, telling future residents, telling future victims, telling you, don't renovate, don't change, don't damage. The walls remember, the walls protect, the walls consume. And once you start, once you disturb them, once you make them bleed, they won't stop, won't forgive, won't release you until you're part of them. Forever, the walls remember, always, everything, everyone. Our property was 2 acres, wooded, private, beautiful, a clearing for the house. The rest was forest, dense forest. The kind that blocks sunlight, the kind that stays dark, even at noon, even in summer, even when it shouldn't. The property line was marked. Old stone markers, moss-covered, ancient, probably from when the land was first parceled, probably before the house, probably before anyone remembered why. Our neighbor was strange, old man, lived alone. Property adjoined ours. His house was similar, old, isolated, dark. He never crossed the property line. Never, not once, not even close. He'd walk right up to the markers, stop exactly at them, turn around. Like an invisible wall existed, like he couldn't cross, like he wouldn't cross, even when it would be easier, even when it would make sense. Even when I invited him over, offered coffee, offered conversation, offered friendship, he always declined, always at the property line, always with that look of fear, of respect, of understanding something I didn't. I asked him about it once, why he never crossed, why he never visited, why he never came over. He looked at me, sad expression, pitying almost, said his grandfather told him, never cross the property line. The land has rules, older than the houses, older than the deeds, older than the country, rules from when natives lived here. When they respected the land, when they understood what lived here, what claimed it, what defended it, against intrusion, against violation, against crossing. I laughed, more superstition, more mountain folklore, more nonsense from people who believed in curses, in spirits, in things that shouldn't exist. I crossed his property all the time, cut through his woods, took shortcuts, ignored his protests, ignored his warnings, ignored his fear. because I didn't believe, didn't respect, didn't understand. Not yet. Not until it was too late. Not until I learned why he never crossed. Why his grandfather warned him. Why the natives respected it. Why everyone should. My dog disappeared first. Week 6. Good dog. Well-trained. Loyal. Never ran away. Never left the yard. Until that afternoon, I saw her at the property line, at the stone markers, staring into the woods, at something I couldn't see, something calling her, something she had to investigate. She crossed the line into our neighbor's property, vanished into the trees. I called, whistled, shouted, nothing. She never came back, never made a sound, just gone, completely. Permanently. I searched for days, covered both properties, called. Her name, left food, left water, nothing. My neighbor helped. Reluctantly, carefully, always staying on his side, never crossing onto mine, even to search, even to help, even when it was closer. Easier, faster. He wouldn't cross, couldn't cross, wouldn't explain why. Just kept searching. His side only, like he knew. She wasn't on my property, wasn't in my woods, wasn't coming back. Month 2. I was clearing brush near the property line, making our yard bigger, extending our space, our territory, our control. My chainsaw hit something, hard, metal, underground. I dug it out, an old chain, thick, heavy, rusted, buried just under the surface, following the property line. Exactly. Perfectly, deliberately, running between every stone marker, under the ground, forming a barrier, an invisible fence, a boundary that someone, sometime, had deemed important, critical, necessary. I pulled up more chain, curious now, following it, tracing it, discovering it, circled my entire property, 2 acres of buried chain. Someone had gone to immense effort, immense expense, immense trouble to mark this boundary, to protect this space, to keep something in or keep something out, but which, and why, and from what? I broke the chain, deliberately, defiantly, stupidly, cut it with bolt cutters, removed a section, destroyed the circle, the boundary, the protection, whatever it was, whatever it meant, whatever it guarded against. I felt triumphant, free, liberated from superstition, from fear, from control. For about 6 hours, until sunset, until darkness, until I understood. The property line glowed. Not the markers, the actual line, the boundary, the division between properties, between spaces, between safe and unsafe. A faint blue light, phosphorescent, growing brighter as darkness fell, brighter as night deepened, brighter as something approached from the other side, from my neighbor's property, from the woods, drawn to the break, to the gap, to the opening that I'd created, that I'd provided, that I'd foolishly, ignorantly, fatally made. It was tall, 9 feet, maybe 10. Humanoid shape, but wrong proportions. Limbs too long, joints too many. Head too large, moving wrong, gliding, not walking, above the ground. Through the trees, toward the break, toward the gap, toward my property, my house, my family, me, finally able to cross. After so many years, so many decades, so many generations, of being kept out, of being bound, of being limited to one side, to one property, to one space, I ran to my neighbor's house, pounded on his door, screaming, begging, explaining, apologizing. He opened it, face grim, knowing, expected, said, He'd warned me, said his grandfather warned him, said the chain was protection, ancient protection. From when natives bound the entity to one property, one space, one territory, using iron, using ritual, using sacrifice, probably creating a barrier, a prison, a cage that held for centuries until I broke it, until I freed it, until I doomed us. He had a key, old key. His grandfather gave it to him for emergencies, for when someone eventually, inevitably, stupidly broke the chain. The key opened a box. The box contained materials, ingredients, instructions for repairing the boundary, for rebinding the entity, for fixing what I'd broken, if done fast, if done right. If done before it fully crossed, before it entered my property, before it claimed my space, my house, my family. We worked fast, gathered materials, performed the ritual, repaired the chain, reburied it, re-sanctified it, whatever that meant, whatever it required, whatever would work. The entity fought, pushed against the reforming barrier, tried to cross, tried to finish, tried to claim what I'd offered, what I'd provided, what I'd stupidly made accessible. But the ritual held, the chain held. The boundary reformed, glowing brighter, stronger, permanent. Again, the entity retreated, slowly, reluctantly, back to the other property, back to its space, back to its prison, but watching, always watching, from the tree line, from the boundary, from the space it could see but couldn't cross, waiting, patient, eternal, for another break, another gap, another fool who doesn't believe, doesn't respect, doesn't understand the property line, its meaning, its purpose, its absolute necessity. I never go near the property line now, never clear brush there, never maintain markers, never acknowledge it. I leave it wild, overgrown, forgotten, and I watch my neighbor who never crosses, who never questions, who understands what I learned too late, too dangerously, too close to losing everything. That property lines aren't just legal boundaries, they're protection, they're prisons. They're all that stands between us and things, old things, bound things, things waiting for someone, anyone, to break the chain. The well was in our backyard, 20 feet from the house. Old stone well, coved sealed, rusted shut, probably hadn't been used in decades, since before modern plumbing, since before city water, since before anyone remembered it was decorative. Now, quaint, charming, part of the property's rustic appeal. The realtor emphasized it, historical feature. Great conversation piece, adds character. We loved it, thought it was perfect, thought it was harmless, thought it was just a well. First week, I heard water from the well at night when everything was quiet, when I should be sleeping, splashing, like something swimming, like something moving, like something alive. Down there, deep down, in water that should be still, should be stagnant, should be silent, but wasn't, never was, always moving, always active, always occupied. I mentioned it to my wife. She didn't hear it, said I was imagining things, said wells don't make noise, said water doesn't splash by itself. Normal explanation, rational thinking, logical conclusion. But I knew, I heard it, every night, same time, same sound, same pattern, something in the well, something that shouldn't be there, something that wanted me to know. It was there, it was active, it was waiting. Week 3. I decided to open it, despite the rust, despite the effort, despite the sense that I shouldn't, that some things should stay sealed, should stay covered, should stay forgotten. I worked. For 2 days, WD-40, penetrating oil, vice grips, finally got it loose, got it moving, got it open. The smell hit me first, not rot, not decay, nothing bad, just water, clean water, fresh water, impossible water. In a sealed well, in an unused well, in a well that should be dry, should be dirty, should be dead. I looked down, shined my flashlight. The water was clear, impossibly clear, could see straight down, 30 feet, 40, 50, to the bottom, to the stones, to the shape at the bottom, the shape that moved, the shape that looked up at the light, at me, at the opening that hadn't been open in so long, in so many years, in so many decades. It swam up, fast, too fast, unnaturally. Fast, rising through the water, through the impossible clear water, through the space between us, growing larger, becoming clearer, becoming visible, pale, white, luminescent, like a person, but not a person. Too tall, too thin, too wrong, face almost human, almost, but eyes too large, mouth too wide, expression too knowing, too aware, too hungry. I slammed the cover, fast. Panicked, terrified, but I saw its face. Inches from the surface, inches from air, inches from freedom, after being trapped, down there, in the dark, in the water, in the sealed well, for how long? How many years? How many decades? How many centuries? Waiting, patient, preserved, in that impossible water, that magical water, that cursed water. I secured the cover, used new locks, used chains, used weight, whatever I had, whatever would work, whatever would keep it down there, keep it trapped, keep it sealed, away from air, away from land, away from us. And I researched local history, property records, newspaper archives, looking for answers, looking for explanations, looking for truth. Found a story from 1923 about a girl, 16 years old, who disappeared from this property, from this house, last seen at the well, drawing water, never found, never explained, never solved. Family moved away, house abandoned, for years, for decades, until someone bought it, fixed it, sealed the well, covered the truth, buried the mystery. Deep down, where it belonged, where it stayed, until I opened it, until I released it, until I gave it hope. That night, the splashing was louder, aggressive, angry, pounding, like fists on stone, like desperation, like rage. It wanted out, needed. Out, demanded out, after tasting freedom, after seeing light, after being so close, to escape, to return, to live again, whatever that meant, for something like that, something that lived in water, something preserved by water, something that drowned in water, and never left. My wife heard it now, finally, couldn't deny it, couldn't rationalize it, couldn't ignore it. Something was in the well, something alive, something that shouldn't be. We called the police. They came, investigated, opened the cover, looked down, saw nothing, just water, dark water, still water, normal water, no shape, no movement, no girl. They thought we were crazy, said wells make sounds, said water shifts, said we needed sleep, needed rest, needed perspective, and left us with the well, with the thing in the well, with the truth they couldn't see, wouldn't see, refused to see. It started appearing at night, outside, standing by the well, dripping, pale, luminescent, staring at the house, at our bedroom window, at us, watching, waiting, wanting to come in, to come closer, to claim what she lost, life, youth, future, everything stolen when she drowned, when she was pushed, when she was murdered by someone. Sometime, for some reason, and left at the bottom of the well where she stayed, where she waited, where she transformed into something else, something wrong, something that couldn't die. Because she already had, and refused to accept it, we tried filling the well, concrete, gravel, dirt, whatever would work, whatever would seal it, whatever would end this. But every morning, the fill was gone, vanished, like it never existed. The well was clear, was empty, was waiting, impossible, inexplicable, supernatural. The water prevented it, the magic water, the cursed water, the water that preserved her, that kept her, that owned her, forever. We moved out, abandoned the house. Couldn't stay, couldn't sleep, couldn't live with her, outside, every night, getting closer, getting bolder, getting more solid, more real, more alive. The house sits empty now. For sale, cheap, very cheap. The realtor doesn't mention the well, doesn't explain why it's sealed, doesn't warn new buyers about what's down there, about what comes out, about what wants in, the girl, the thing, the horror that lives in the, well, that drowned in the well, that owns the well, and anyone who opens it, anyone who looks down, anyone who gives her hope of escape, of return, of revenge. The well is sealed again, locked, chained, warning signs, but eventually someone will open it, someone will look, someone will see her down there, swimming, waiting, rising, and they'll understand, too late, why the well was sealed, why the cover was rusted, why the water is so clear, so clean, so wrong. Because it's not water, not anymore. It's preservation, it's prison, it's portal between death and life, between past and present, between what was and what wants to be. Again, the girl in the well, forever young, forever dead, forever waiting for someone to let her out. We'd experienced everything, the footsteps, the shadows, the whispers, the visions, month after month, horror after horror, each worse than the last, each more impossible, each more real. We couldn't leave. Financially trapped, house wouldn't sell. No offers, no interest, no one wanted it. They sensed something, the darkness, the wrongness, the truth, that this house was poisoned, was cursed, was claimed by forces we didn't understand, couldn't fight, couldn't escape. We tried everything. Priests, psychics, paranormal investigators, Native American shamans. Everyone said the same thing. The house was built on wrong ground. Sacred ground, cursed ground, burial ground maybe, or battleground, or execution ground, where something terrible happened, something that stained the land, permanently, eternally, irreversibly, making everything built here, everyone living here, subject to its darkness, its anger, its need for vengeance, for justice, for balance. Tonight feels different, final somehow, like something is culminating, coming together, reaching completion, all the separate horrors, the footsteps, the basement, the attic, the walls, the property, the well, all connected, all part of one thing, one entity, one consciousness, using different methods, different manifestations, different approaches to the same goal. To claim us, to take us, to make us part of it, part of the house, part of the land, part of the darkness, forever. My wife is missing. She was here an hour ago, in the living room, reading, trying to ignore, trying to cope, trying to survive. One more night, one more day, one more moment, then she was gone. I searched every room, every closet, every space. Called her name, called her phone, called anyone. Nothing. She vanished. Inside our house, inside our home. Inside the thing that was never a home, was never shelter, was never safe. Just a trap, just a cage, just a mouth, waiting to swallow, waiting to consume, waiting to claim. I hear her, screaming. Somewhere, everywhere, nowhere, in the walls, under the floors, above the ceiling, her voice echoing, distorted, desperate, calling my name, begging for help, begging for rescue, begging for salvation. But I can't find her, can't reach her, can't save her. The house won't let me. Doors lock themselves. Rooms shift, walls move, creating maze, creating prison, creating hell, customized, personal, perfect, for trapping, for breaking, for claiming. The temperature is dropping, fast, impossible, summer outside, but winter inside, ice forming on windows, frost on walls, breath visible, shivering, freezing, in July, in our house, in Virginia. Something is pulling heat, pulling energy, pulling life, from the air, from the structure, from us, feeding, growing, strengthening, for what comes next. For what happens tonight, for the final night, our final night. In this house, in this world, in this reality, I see them now, all of them, together. The frozen walker from outside, the basement entity from below, the attic woman from above, the faces from the walls, the thing from the property line, the girl from the well. All present, all visible, all surrounding me, different manifestations, different horrors, different nightmares, but same source, same darkness, same hunger, all working together, all coordinated, all focused on me, on my wife, on claiming us. Finally, completely, eternally, they speak, in unison, one voice, multiple mouths, same message. You should have left. You should have listened. You should have believed. All the warnings, all the signs, all the chances to escape, to survive, to run. But you stayed, you ignored, you rationalized, and now it's too late, to complete, to final. The house has you, the land has you. We have you, forever, as payment. As sacrifice, as residence, permanent residence of the space between life and death. Between presence and absence, between being and nothing. I'm writing this, on my phone, last act, last testimony, last warning, to whoever finds this, to whoever buys this house, to whoever ignores the price, the history, the truth. Don't, just don't. No amount of space, no amount of privacy, no amount of mountain views is worth this, worth what happens here, worth what claims you, slowly, methodically, inevitably. From the first night, the first sign, the first horror, building, growing, culminating in this, the final night, when it takes everything, claims everything, keeps everything, forever. They're getting closer, all of them, surrounding me, reaching. Their hands cold, their eyes empty, their mouths open, speaking, chanting, claiming. I can't move, can't run, can't escape. Frozen, not from fear. From them, from their power, from their control over this space, over this house, over me. My wife's screaming has stopped. She's been claimed, been taken, been absorbed into whatever they are, whatever this is, whatever we're becoming. Part of the house, part of the land, part of the darkness that never ends. never releases, never forgives intrusion. If you're reading this, if you found my phone, if you're in this house, leave now. Don't investigate. Don't explore. Don't try to understand. Just leave before the first night, before the first sign, before the first horror, before it starts, before it builds, before it claims you, like it claimed us, like it claims everyone who buys this house, who lives in this house, who dies in this house, and stays in this house forever as part of the collection, part of the warning, part of the horror that is, that was, that will always be this house in Appalachia, where something dark, something ancient, something hungry waits, claims, keeps everyone, everything, forever. They're touching me now, cold spreading, numbness growing, vision dimming, consciousness fading. This is the end, the final moment, the complete claiming. I can feel myself becoming less, becoming more, becoming them, becoming it, becoming part of the walls, the floors, the darkness, the house, forever watching, forever warning, forever warning, forever whispering to the next residents, the next victims, the next souls who buy this house, this perfect house, this cursed house, this final house, in the mountains, in Appalachia, in hell.